look into my eyes, okay? These are the eyes of a poor man, a really, really poor man. Now, look at this thumbnail and you can figure out why I'm so poor. The good news though is that I did mention in this video though that I had a plan D. And yes, I know it sounds stupid. I didn't know what else to call it though because it was the fourth plan. So it's plan D. And plan D is yes, Harbies and beyond. And the only reason I know about this is because of this video from a couple weeks ago. In that video, I did 500 Harbie maps over the course of a week. And I was pretty much just testing the Scarab of Discernment. Now, you don't need to know about that because it's one, out of the game, and two, I think it was kind of trash and a little bit bait. If you didn't hit the lottery when using that Scarab, on average, I felt like it was definitely worse than just running another Harbie as my Scarab. So coming into this league, I had the backup plan. What I did not anticipate is that this new Obelisk Scarab was actually going to be secretly OP. At the time of recording, it's still 2C. It may stay 2C even after, a couple days go by. But long story short, I've done 30 maps of testing with and without it so far, and it definitely drops fracturing shards more often than just a normal Harbie. Now, obviously I have to prove this concept, right? So in a couple seconds, I'm going to invest all of my money into fragments, run these maps, and hopefully I make money. If not, the name of this video is probably something else. Now I have some theories for T16, juicing, Maven chills, all that stuff, but I have to do the run first, and then we'll get to all the div an hour, softcore to hardcore comparisons and everything like that. But I don't want to leave you hanging, right? So here's a quick rundown. We're doing a tier 4 map because it only costs 1 chisel to 20 quality it rather than 4 in a red tier map. 2, the maps are pretty rippy in T16s. I needed a headhunter when I did those tests in order to comfortably do them without dying, so I'm taking them down to a tier 4 to make them even easier. 3, Harbies have never scaled with map tier, so in a tier 1 or a tier 16 you will get the same amount of loot. The only thing that matters is pack size. 4, we're going to add in Beyond because Beyond also can drop things like Tainted Fusings, Mythic Orbs and stuff in a tier 1 map as well. 5, what am I, Dracula? Why am I counting? I'm literally using my hands to count too. Oh fuck, I'm stupid. Also, item rarity and quantity has never affected Harbies to drop Fracturing Orbs, Ancient Orbs, or Annulls, so any of the quantity changes literally doesn't matter. And with that, you have a basic idea. Now here are the Scarabs. Here's what the tree looks like. Obviously, we'll go into more detail later on, but for now, I imagine the music is starting to change. And if you've seen my last Harbie video, you probably know what that means. If you don't, then hopefully you enjoy this, because this is the only way I know how to make PoE grinding entertaining. But that's future me's problem to edit. Current me has to stretch my hands and do 12 hours of grinding. So, wish me luck. I'll see you on the other side, bud. Alright, quick update. I'm not poor, at least a little bit. Ancestral Vision, things like that, 23 dip. I'm selling everything. I'm buying more fragments. I'm going right back in. It looks like, I don't know, man. I think I'm making like 10, 11 div an hour. Hopefully this keeps up. I never doubted Plan D. I was a Plan D day one. Now look at me. I'm rich, powerful. I bought new armor because I don't know. I felt like it fit the theme. Yeah. Anyway, Plan D, kind of crazy. Never doubted it, but we have a lot to talk about actually, because if my numbers are correct, this is going to be one of the best strategies to AFK your brain in a low tier map. So on average, I believe I made about 12.5 to 13 div an hour the entire time I did this whole thing. Now, a couple things you need to know. So before you click off the video, you need to know these things before you just grab it, yoink it, and run it. First of all, when I did these runs, wow, I mean, fuck it, I'll just leave it in. I'm a grown man, I can handle a voice crack. When I did these runs, they were 2 hours to do all of them. Now, there's some context to this, right? I would take a 20-minute break. My hands are not what they used to be, so I have to take a break every hour and a half. So I would take a break for about 20 minutes, and then I'd go and finish the run. Wealthy Exile does not allow me to pause it, so this is just 2 hours total. I don't know how you want to calculate that, but for me, it was 2 hours because I have to take a break. Maybe you're younger or you got more flexible fingers and you can go for 2.5 hours straight, and you'll probably make more than me in that same time span, right? The other thing is that Wealthy Exile is pretty much wrong. Now I'm using this to demonstrate numbers, right? It looks pretty, it looks nice. You can scroll down, you can see how much money I have and all this stuff. And I am, hey, I'm kind of balling. I haven't even played today because I've been editing this video for 12 hours. So yeah, if I was playing, I'd definitely be, more wealthy. Now, like I said, annuls, wrong. I sell these for 12 to 13. I think I have the most annuls and ancient orbs in the league, so it doesn't make sense for me to obviously ever undercut myself for the value I have. But I mean, I guess, yeah, if I was to sell everything at the absolute lowest price, I guess this is how it estimates. Maybe this is more useful in softcore. I have for hardcore, I just get bad numbers, especially when I did my div an hour version with snapshots. It just ambush scarabs at 5C each. No, dude, these are 11 to 12C each. So I don't know. Maybe more useful for softcore, but at the very least it gives clean numbers and we can go over some stuff. Now the other thing is my snapshots are gone. I was going to use these to demonstrate some numbers and go over them, so that sucks. The good news is that I did about 8 hours. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did about 8 hours to 10 hours of just dry runs. I was completely dead, brainless zombie running these, but I did do them. So luckily I have a secure way to kind of go over some screenshots every 2 hours, because it took me 2 hours to run these. I can go back and see okay, here's this run and stuff, and I'm going to average these numbers. I'm going to go take these into a notepad, and I'm going to give you what you've probably been waiting for, is div an hour. Now I don't love div an hour because, for example, like I said, I take breaks. I don't play for 2 hours straight. So for me, 10 div an hour in hardcore, if this is correct with Wealthy Exile, I don't know, that's really good. Is that really good for someone who can play for 3 hours straight? I don't know. But enough stalling, let's go ahead and just go through here. So as of recording this, it is 12:57 and it is August 7th. So these are the prices that I kind of plugged in real quick. I didn't grab every single thing. Some of these things I just don't think you can really sell. I can't sell these in hardcore. I'm assuming it's the same in softcore. Some of these I'm I don't know, maybe you can sell a divinity. What the fuck's a divinity? I don't know. But I don't know, I'll play it in there. It's 1C, who cares? So in scarabs, on average, I get about 120 to 180 chaos, right? Sometimes you get a really good scarab. Most of the time, it's kind of just junk. After a couple hours, this adds up and you can probably sell them in bulk, but just 1-2 hour run. I don't know. Maybe you can sell these in softcore. Maybe these, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know how fast you can sell these in softcore. So this is where your expertise is better than mine. Divines are 148, and I already did the math, so we're just going to go ahead and talk about averages. I think this is, if you watch any part of the video, this is probably what you should watch, is let's talk about what I seen from last league running, 500 discernments to 200 non-discernments to now. I wouldn't say I'm the Harby guy. I would say I do like Harbies because they're very, very easy. You can turn your brain off, don't have to think, you just play the game, you can watch something on the side. It's my favorite strat because I can focus on other stuff while still making good money. It just so happens that I'm making 12 div an hour while doing it on a dogshit character. So yes, it makes it a little bit better. On average, per 2 hours, keep in mind, per 2 hours, not 1 hour, per 2 hours, anywhere from 35 to 48 annuls is my average. It's not really streaky. Annuls and ancient orbs kind of flip-flop. One run maybe you'll get more, sometimes you'll get another. In this particular run that I ripped, it was pretty even actually, 42-44. Now, fracturing orb, it's the big one. So my worst run when using obelisks. So my worst run actually was when using Harbies. When I used 3 Harby normal scarabs, I didn't use obelisks yet. I got 12. I switched to obelisks. My worst run ever is 14. My best run was 24. We don't have to talk about it. So on average, I would say I get anywhere from 16 to 22. It's probably 18 to 22, but I'm going to say 16 to 22 because I don't know. I hate over like selling. I'd rather undersell. So 16 fracturing shards, I think is the worst on average I would get. Most of the time though, I would get a fracturing orb and I would sell it immediately because they sell for 10.5 div in hardcore. So I would sell them immediately. Softcore, 6.5 div. There were only a few for 7 div, but then a few got posted for 6.5. I don't know what's going on in softcore. Maybe people are posting them on currency exchange, taking them off, but they're 6.5 right now. So I'm putting 6.5. That's what I would sell it at. It's a really good item. So you don't have to put it for 6 unless you're desperate for money. Just, take your time, let it sit for an hour and you'll get your money. Okay. My basic advice to you. On average, you will find probably one divine. I think only one run I didn't find a divine in 2 hours. Harbies do drop quite a bit, and then obviously you have a lot of mobs and stuff going on, so I feel like a divine orb's pretty common, honestly. Fortunate card, same thing. You'll get pretty much a divine on average. I put 5 here just because maybe you get unlucky on average. For me, it was anywhere between 4 and 7 was my average. Chaos orbs, Jesus Christ. I don't know what to say about these. My best run was 357 chaos orb. My worst run was 160. So I'm gonna just put 200 here. Maybe it's closer to 240. I really don't know what to do with chaos orbs. I don't understand why sometimes they drop a ton and sometimes they don't. When fracturing shards are like the most consistent and annuls, but chaos orbs go anywhere from up 100 down to 150. I don't know what to do with this. I'm putting 200. I feel like that's my average. Same thing with ancients. Ancients are the same as annuls. I think they're the same weighting. Orb of Horizons, here's a cool trick. A lot of people are buying low tier maps because of scrying stuff. So you can actually turn, a tier 3 map into whatever map they're running, or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever it is, right? So Orb of Horizons I actually think is pretty useful right now, but I don't know if you could sell them, so I'm not going to count. Tainted Fusings, I put 3 here. If I'm being completely dead ass honest, I think I got 5 every 2 hours for like 6 hours in a row. I'm gonna put 3 here. They're not even worth that much, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, they actually drop quite a bit. Exalts are pretty damn consistent. You're pretty much gonna get 4 to 7, pretty much like always. Sometimes it just procs into a full exalt, and that's what you'll get more. But most of the time, yeah, 5 is definitely like the bare minimum. Harbies, yeah, and then this is all just kind of like junk. It's pretty averaged. Like I feel like this is pretty much exactly what I got every single time, but they're not really worth a lot. So it is what it is. I am not counting things like, chance orbs, jewelers. I'm too lazy. I don't want to do it. So if you wanted to count it, probably about 100 chaos worth of stuff. I'm too lazy to count. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. So in total, if you calculate all this plus the 138C from these scarabs, you end up with 2,363 total chaos. And this is where you're going to make your money, because the scarabs are cheap. 900C for 20 runs. And this will take you, let's assume you're probably playing some fucking lightning strike character, or I don't know, maybe you're broke, or maybe you do these in T16s and it's more expensive because chisels, because I spent 1 chisel per map, but it's 1C for me. If you were doing these in T16s, it costs more, but on average it's 900C just for the scarabs. So 1,463C total equals, well, it's not 8 div, this is just me underselling it. Let's actually do the right math. 1,463 divided by the cost of the divine gives you 9.8 divines in an hour, but this is considering average luck. Do not consider average luck. Let's assume worst case scenario, you got unlucky. You only got 14 fracturing shards, right? Then it's 8 div an hour. You didn't get the divine drop. It's 8 div an hour. You know what I mean? So this is my average. Am I underselling? I undersell everything I ever make in Path of Exile because I'm too scared for people to take what I say and say, oh, that's perfect, I'm gonna make 12 div an hour like WAF in hardcore. So I undersell. It's probably 8 div an hour no matter what in a tier 4 map, and then we're gonna talk about T16s here in a second. If you don't sell everything, like Wealthy Exile assumes you sell, it's probably more like 7.5 div. Is that still a shit ton of money for a tier 4 map? Yeah. Also, I didn't mention this because I don't really want to mention it. Yes, you do have a chance at a mirror shard. When I did my 200 map test last league without discernment, I got a mirror shard. And yes, that mirror shard will duplicate. So if you get 1 shard, you will always get 2 shards. That's how it works. You'll never get 1 fracturing shard. You'll always get at least 2. Same thing with everything else if you run these scarabs. So do with that information you will. Now, T16s. I do not know how the fuck Harbies work in T17s. Don't ask me. I don't know. But T16 wise, this is what I would do. I would singular focus and pick a map in T16 that I want to run. Obviously, there's the whole scrying stuff now that you can do, so you can send a low tier map, scry it. You know, I ran Mesa. You don't have to run Mesa. You can run whatever you want. I just like Mesa because the layout and I can get fortunate cards. That's literally it. I haven't gone for the name of the seer stuff. I haven't gone for the scrying stuff. Look into someone else's video if you want to know more information about that. Would this, you know, setup work with farming things like, you know, divination cards and stuff? Maybe. I really don't know. But the whole core and the concept is that you want to make the map as hard as possible because that means you'll get more pack size. The more pack size, the more stuff you'll get out of the Harbies, the more beyond monsters, the more monsters in general, right? Scarabs are just like a bonus. You don't have to go for the scarabs. If there's something else you want, feel free. I'm putting scarabs here because it's nice to just, you know, pretty much get just a divine or a divine and a half on average from just running Harbies and beyond. But this is pretty much it. Map sustain, Harbies, altars, and here is the theory. Now, in theory, because Harbies scale off pack size, you could use the Maven Chisels of Proliferation or whatever. It gives pack size, it gives 20%. I ran that in a tier 4 map and it was not good. It actually gave me less. I really don't know why. In theory, basic chisels should not be particularly giving that much more from Harbies, but in every metric, I got like 6 less anoles, 6 less ancient orbs, like 2 less fraction shards. Just across the board, I got less of like everything. It didn't really make sense. Maybe I got really unlucky. This is where we're gonna have to start talking about theory. In theory, pack size should be really good for Harbies, right? Should be good for just mobs in general. And if you're running altars, you could use, you know, the Maven's pack size altar. If you rolled Chaos Orbs, you know, with Wrath of the Cosmos, you have, you know, 3.5% chance in a pack, and that pack has 20%, and obviously you have all this stuff, so you have like a 57% pack size. The altar is huge, it spawns, and for example, a guy in chat told me that he used it, he got the Chaos Orb, and he got 52 Chaos in his first map, running the Chisel. Chisel runs anywhere from 8 to 12C as far as I know. The problem is if you run this in red maps, that's expensive. If you ran it in white maps, it's 1 Chisel, right? But it didn't really work in tier 4s. So this is where you can do some testing yourself. I have a limited amount of testing I can do because, if I'm being honest, my hands just kind of suck. And I mean, my hands even hurt right now. It sucks to make an excuse, but honestly, I could only play for so much, and I'd rather, you know, be just making money rather than doing experiments non-stop. So this is what I would run. I'll have this in the description, obviously, everything like that. We should be good to go. I think I covered everything. Good luck. Hopefully you can replicate at least some of these numbers. I'm probably underselling, but I'm just too scared to confidently say things like 12 div an hour in hardcore, 10 div an hour in softcore if you're going really fast on a fast build. Yes, you'll probably make more. Yes, you're going to make way more money than me in T16s. I don't know how much. This should hopefully be enough proof of concept for you to feel confident in at least trying it.